Welcome back, disc golf enthusiasts, once again to MDG Media. This is round 1 back 9 FPO feature card coverage of the 2025 Turku Open here on the LUOLAVUORI course, and it's a great one. There's really a fantastic variety of shot shapes, demands on the players, some uphill, some downhill, some islands, some bombers, some chip shots. I'm Connor Wood, and with me, Mr. Andrew Gum.
Great to be here. Yeah, you're right. This course has got it all. LUOLAVUORI, Cave Mountain, sponsored by Prodigy, brought to you by MDG for the coverage here, and designed, very beautifully by Seppo. Let's get into the action here on the back 9. Or let's first check out the leaderboard, I guess. We see Silva shredding it up. She's on top. Keiti Alsalu, Anali, Togias Manista, Diane Carey, Jenny Karpinen, Jennifer Smiley, all having pretty good rounds so far. But yeah, Silva's kind of in the driver's seat here at this point. 5 down through only 9 holes.
And that is a front 9 that had 9 of 9 holes playing over par on average throughout the day. Andrew, the weather is brutal. I think we'll see that change tomorrow if it's a little bit friendlier. But we kick it off here on the first hole, averaging under par of the tournament, hole 10. This par 3 is 69 meters downhill, well defended by this guardian tree on the right. Players will have to shape their shot from the left to the right through the gap, or if they're very lucky or extra risky, they can throw right at the tree and filter through it or even under it. There's a lot of ways to play this hole. What's important is that you manage the initial gap in the trees and then the speed control. There's a lot of different ways to do those two things. We go to Silva, shaping the backhand, not the standstill, gives it the run up, and she is going straight at it.
Oh yeah, I just need to get under that. Whoa, ace running it. That was flashing chains on the right side. Checks up just outside the circle, right in her range for a highlight putt. It's a shorty, but a goodie, isn't it? A nice view here. You're throwing downhill. Iida going back to that invader. Going a little bit long and a little bit left, but still a look right there, 15 meters. Great opportunity to get the back 9 started with the highlight. Forehand plays too, for sure. Maybe even better shape for it, and that's just a little bit short, a little shy on that effort. Now she's got a low ceiling putt. Very unlikely birdie from there.
Keiti goes hyzer release, a little bit of nose up, but it's a very understable disc. You see the glide and the turn. This fires long, but we'll also have an open look backwards. That is, let's say, the danger of throwing the backhand here. If it gets a little too glidey on you going down the hill, it will fly away.
Yeah, nothing really to stop it. There you see that gallery, pretty healthy, you know, considering the bad conditions and
it being a weekday.
Yeah, exactly. I was very impressed with the turnout. But as you said, yeah, nothing there to stop it, so the disc can drift if you put a little too much on it or let it glide. We'll see that from Keiti, who's about 20 meters out here. Puts it close. Well, maybe a little less than 20. But anyway, she puts it just a little shy on the bid. Politely gets herself out of the camera angle. True professionalism right there. Got to respect it.
Lehtomäki from deep.
Oh, look good. Kiss the cage. Just a little shy.
She's very consistent on her putting stroke. Modulates the speed nicely from different distances. Silva off the band there from a short distance. And that one skips away as she is putting once again. Some of the scariest words in disc golf. It's still you.
Yeah. Silva not really scared by many putts, though, or anything that I know of. Gets it in there on the comeback. No worries. Overhand tap in from Keiti, her specialty. So par frame it is. This is one you really want to birdie, so surprised not to see our first feature card get that one, but nonetheless, we'll move on to hole 11, par 4, 420 feet, 128 meters. Strong sloping hillside, left to right. Mando there on the left. Got to get right side of it. Got to try to push up through to this main gap if you can. There's some sneaky inside jobs there if you go a little left too early, but ideally you'll go the way the drone flies here and turn, you know, the corner a little bit if you can. But even if you just have an opening here to do a little hyzer, you know, backhand, righty backhand shot up to the pin, right to left moving, you'll be able to get yourself a birdie look. 128 meters isn't too long, so you just got to keep it, you know, straight for a little while before you fade left. Try to get yourself lined up with that gap if you can. But this one can be dangerous. Like there, you can see the hillside. It's very slopey, and with all this rain we've had, it's quite slippery as well. This is kind of the only part of the course that's not really lush grass, so it can be, you know, pretty slick with just the mud exposed. And
Silva was unfortunately tree-nied entrance into the fairway. Lehtomäki, however,
good skip or good kick, I think,
is tree-septed into the fairway.
Yeah, tree-aid. Tree-aided into the gap.
She hit the gap beautifully. Iida, Emilie-Nesse, a little bit inside left, but does get solid progress. This is a short par 4, so you can have an inoptimal angle if you get a long way up there, which I think she's done nicely.
Yeah, pretty well.
Andrew, I wouldn't expect it, but this hole had the highest birdie percentage of any hole on the day. Understandably, not the longest par 4, but still requires great precision with 50% of the field finding the birdie.
I'm pretty impressed with that. I mean, it's pretty well sheltered from wind. Yeah, maybe just because it's short and, you know, a couple of, I guess like a decent tee shot will put you like a pretty routine up. So maybe I guess if half the field's hitting it clean, you know, good on them. Yeah, nicely done, everybody.
Let's see which of our feature card is going to join half of the field with the birdie. Lehtomäki almost certainly will be.
Good. She knows her disc so well. She knows her angles and speed control. For a player that's so young and hasn't been playing for very long, she's very impressive with the skill set. Super consistent with the release points and speed control. Yeah, the disc knowledge, all of that and above. Excellent approach from Keiti. Even better, right next to the basket. So far, so good. Let's see if Iida can join that.
Once again, playing the touch forehand turnover. That one lacked the same touch her last did. Just got the nose down a little bit too much on Anheuser. If you want to go around the corner, a bit of nose up will get you a long way there. The nose down will cost you potentially a stroke there, as it does for Iida.
Solid bid, just a little left and low. Got the nubs, but never really a chance. Great birdie there. She continues to flow. 6 down. Silva's definitely one of those players that if she gets real hot, she can just leave everybody in her wake.
Really good front runner and a very scary chaser. When she's not in the lead, she can put crazy pressure on. And I think that could be one of Silva's biggest strengths, I feel like, is when the pressure goes down for her, is when I think she really shines. Not to say she can't seize it in the big lights moments, but when Silva has a tough first round, you almost always see a crazy strong second round when she feels like she could be out of the running and gives it some pulls.
She's gained some valuable experience being in some serious battles with the best in the business, and you know, she's definitely a force to be reckoned with these days, as she has been for most of her career.
She'll have a chance to birdie hole 12. This par 3 is 115 meters downhill with a very narrow fairway, that OB right and left, a left to right slope, of course a downhill slope as I mentioned. We get into this peninsula green. The basket to the left is the FPO one. A lot of players are going to try to throw a backhand along this mud road that is OB right the entire way, and just find a late fade, or ideally get yourself inbounds on the left, turn it over, and throw more of a flex shape, ensuring that you actually get inbounds exactly as we see from Silva here.
Yep, that's what you want. Give yourself a chance. It's a tricky one. You know, downhill, you got to match that disc to the hill slope. That looks so good. Maybe just fading a little early. Yeah, catches those guardian trees. Had the nose angle just right. Just a little too much stability there. Or maybe a touch too much hyzer, perhaps.
And this is a dangerous
Oh, no.
play that has gone OB right early and never comes back. She will proceed only 5 or 10 meters at most and will be throwing her third. We go now to Nesse. This is why this flex that we see from players is more favorable. You bring the tree line more into play, but you ensure that you're actually in bounds. And a really nice shape by Nesse. She also slows it down in time, just within the circle, looking like a 9-meter putt. This is Keiti, again, not from the tee, but from the OB line directly in front of the tee.
Whoa.
And she played that one safe. Understandably, Andrew, you can't be doing it twice in a row. And a really great result, actually.
It was a weird reaction, but it ended up being very favorable.
Down the hill from circle 2.
Oh, healthy bid. Was online, just a little shy.
Silva not known for giving tentative putts.
No, I think she's one of the players that's really inspired the whole division to run these putts. You know, she's kind of like set the bar up pretty high. Especially the young players from Finland, they've kind of like started to grow up watching her, you know, doing what she does. There you see it, another birdie, 7 down.
Pretty incredible score through 12 holes on a pretty difficult course where even par is giving you top 5, top 10.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Good bogey save after missing it so bad. You know, making the mistake you really just can't make off the tee on this one. That can get way out of hand real quick. You know, this hole can eat you up. Lucky to see her, you know, make a good recovery shot and a good putt to save the bogey.
Took advantage of that little roll she got, and another very nice putt for Nesse. They're looking up the hill, confident into the strong right side.
That was delightful, the tee shot and the putt. Really well done. This is a great birdie to get. Solid par. 2 down for the round is great. I mean, it doesn't look brilliant next to Silva's 7, but compared to the field, that's fantastic.
Hey guys, quick pause. A lot of people are involved in this project. Our goal is to grow the sport and share it with as many people as possible. So if you want to support us, subscribe to the channel, like and comment the videos if you like them, and hit the bell so you don't miss anything. It seems small, but it really helps us keep creating free content on YouTube. Enjoy the video.
Very concise and important message from the man. Please do what he says. We really appreciate all that effort. Moving on, hole 13, par 3, 84 meters, 276 feet. It's uphill, a little bit kind of gradually uphill. You got the basket tucked on the left behind these guardian trees. So maybe it plays a little bit more like 90-ish, 90, 95 perhaps with the uphillness. And you just got to move it right to left at the very end if you want to park it. Otherwise, you can throw it straight and give yourself a look from the circle. You know, no problem.
I think circle's edge, both on the right as well as short left in the tree line, are the most common landing zones. It's rare you see someone really park this one. It's common that you see someone with a slightly longer putt. Silva playing right at it. The hyzer flip shapes really well, but exactly in that early left tree line I mentioned.
Yeah, those birds will catch you.
But that's a putt. That's the thing. That's a reasonable distance. It's not an easy putt, but there's gaps. There's some wind, and there's a back slope allowing you to run it confidently. It's not going to go too far.
Exactly. That's the inside left, but she could end up with one of those putts you're talking about. I believe she does. Circle 2. Iida, nice smooth swing. Heading straight for the basket. Parks it. That's the best I've ever seen on this one. Like you said.
So crisp and such a nice piercing line. We go to Keiti.
Pure all the way.
Hyzer release and high, manages the flip up, finds the late fade, and she is just there next to Silva, a few meters closer. likely a more open look. I think Silva will still have to manage either the gap or the ceiling, but actually it's Nesse up first. Goes to the straddle to open some width. Hopefully give her a line with enough height to give it a soft chance and a real one at that. Great birdie putt from way outside.
So good. Back-to-back birdies on a couple pretty tough holes. Very impressive. Silva looking for that turkey, but catches the low-hanging branches there. Keiti's a little closer, so she's not going to have to deal with them as much, and she's a little bit more right side, so she won't have to stretch out as much, but she hits the band. Checks up at least. Tap in par. Coming up, so got 2 par cleanups and a tap in birdie for Iida Lehtomäki.
Very impressive find here on 13. A hole that's hard to birdie, but pretty easy to par, given that the OB doesn't come into play unless you get really left. We will proceed to hole 14, a par 4 at 135 meters. You have this very tight initial tunnel shot looking down the hill. You ideally beat these late 2 trees that we are arriving at right about now. If you can pierce through them, you can even be left or right of them, but just get yourself out onto this open hill. It is sloped right to left, which will most often drag your disc left around the corner, exactly where we find the basket. But with that OB left lining the bottom of the slope, as well as up on the right, players will need to manage it a little bit. It's really just, can you get clean off the tee here? That goes such a long way. The second shot is super simple with anything that hits this gap well.
Oh. Yeah, that was using all the fairway on the right side. Almost got through, but there's those last couple branches that kind of protrude into the gap, narrow it down on the top side.
This gap might look big on camera, but I guarantee you, when you stand there and look down the tunnel, it feels very tight. You have to hit a very specific angle and release point. We'll see if Saarinen is able to find it cleanly. Very strong gap hitter and
misses this one pretty bad. First kick's rough. Second one's better. I mean, it does put her in the tough, like thick stuff over on the right, but going left, there's OB over there that comes into play quite often with a kick. So
Keiti's clean through, and she's over the bump. That is an ideal drive that will give her a very simple hyzer shot into the green. Saarinen has to scramble now. It's a tough patent pending on the slope that's also pushing you over to your outside leg. But she does it well. Good composure. It requires a lot of core strength to throw properly from patent pending on such a slope. We go to Lehtomäki. Hyzer around the outside.
She says no right away. Not happy with it, but it's not that bad, really. It filters, up there to C2. She might have an opportunity to go for it from there.
The best in the world are not happy with C2. They're looking for a perfect shot every time. That is the standard of play these players hold themselves to.
Indeed.
And Saarinen also now on the early left had her chance at the par. Will need to make a very long putt for it. May take her first bogey of the tournament. Nesse, a similar fate. We see them not getting cleanly around the corner before the green. We go to Keiti, a perfect drive and just a good upshot here. You're going to want to see it basically a flat shot high and right of the green that just swings in like this and filters beautifully right up to the bullseye. That's what a good drive can afford you, Andrew.
That's so good. Tap in birdie coming for Keiti. Well, the leader here struggling to save the par. She's thinking about it. She has, I think, enough space to give it a run, but she decides to lay it up. With that hill slope, and there's like some stuff over there, not far from the bullseye left of the basket if you're facing it. She probably made a smart move there. Just, if she did miss it, it might have gone.
Might have gone a long way. There was also a helicopter overhead the players at exactly that moment. I do wonder in these cases where there's sort of an environmental hazard or effect. Some players, I think, make different decisions in those environments.
It kind of made me nervous just now. Yeah, you never know what the choppers are up to. Flashbacks and everything.
You're not that old, Andrew.
Just being silly. But yeah, brilliant birdie there from Keiti. Very well done.
And we see the most common result there. 46% of the field taking the par, 25 taking the birdie. Still pretty high for a hole that averages over 4 at 4.21. And we proceed to hole 15, a par 3, 93 meters. This is another tunnel shot off the tee, but significantly more forgiving. This is a much wider gap, probably double the width of the previous tunnel. You want to ideally get a nose down shot with either a hyzer or flex, break out into the open field straight, and then just end softly to the left. If you throw something skippy or too overstable, you can very quickly move left. So I think a flex to mitigate a really big skip, or something that just lands a bit softer, is the best play here to try and stick the green. It's ultimately, once again, a straight shot that tricks players into throwing a sort of hyzer. You want to move left, but not that much. The downhill will normally do it for you.
Yeah, it's a very picturesque hole with the gap, and there's a couple boulders. You know, you walk over a little bridge. There's a casual relief area, you know, if you do end up in there, there's just some soggy kind of like swampy part. Oh, that's so good.
And that's the soft landing hyzer I meant, and it is well past it, but what a run. So smooth. That's exactly the sort of shot I was imagining in that soft landing but hyzer shape. It's flat, it's flipping up, but it's moving right to left.
Wow, I liked it for the ace run potential right out of the hand. Did go a little long. This one's also going a little long, but more left, and really never had a chance of getting to the basket, you know, in the basket. But
Silva has officially taken one bogey now in this tournament. Let's see if she's able to bounce back. This hole very gettable, and I feel like a hole that plays to her strengths, a sort of touch and control backhand. She is in the circle, Andrew, and we know what Silva Saarinen likes to do from the circle.
Tell us a little bit about the course design this year.
We mainly kept it the same as last year. We did some changes for the MPO, like hole 6. We lengthened it by 21 meters. Last year it was just the spike hyzer. This year players have to do much more sweeping, longer hyzer, but not like big major changes this year. Some OBs have gotten a little tighter, and actually the FPO layout I made a little bit shorter because I looked at the stats, and most holes played over par compared to the MPO, where most holes played under par. So I wanted to make that gap a little more even.
Yeah, it looks really good. Finland just hosted the World Championships. Last year you had the first elite disc golf pro tour event here. As a Finn, what does it feel like to hold these highest level events in the world?
It's awesome. It's a privilege, and the World Championships means a lot to Turku Open too this year, because we have a lot of the top players, and that was one of the big things why we wanted to have it right here, because we knew that most of the best players would be in Finland already, so we would have a lot of them, and I'm lucky to see that a lot of them showed up.
Right, we'll keep it short, but thanks for the insights there, and keep up the great work.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, great to hear from the man himself, Seppo Pajo, legend. You know, he was the best player in Finland for a very long time, toured extensively. Now he's retired, he has a family, he's designing courses, brilliant ones, including the European Disc Golf Festival. The event in Estonia was a major. That's one of his gems as well. So doing great work, you know, even after his playing career is over. Hall of Famer for sure, I would say.
Has a great impact on the sport. A birdie here for Iida would be a great impact to the scorecard, and she wanted it. We wanted to see it. Ultimately, does not come to be. We go now to Silva. She'll have a slight crosswind, it looks like, right to left. You have to be careful on the hyzer angle with a right to left wind, but pretty calm now. She has a chance to connect, and she finds it. She bounces it back. Of course she does, off the bogey. She gets back to 7 under.
Yeah, that's what champions do. Heart of a lion. Getting right back to business. Getting it done here. And the weather's improved significantly, it's worth mentioning. I mean, it was pretty rough when we started, as you remember. Now the sun's peeking out. Wind's dying off. So pretty good opportunity here to finish well. Keiti in for a fabulous birdie as well, and she's under par. Battling tough, 2 in a row. And look, like, everyone's playing really well in this back nine. Only 2 bogeys collectively for the card. This is fantastic. Not as easy as they're making it look. A lot of green. Everybody's got at least 2 birdies. 3 down for Iida. Right there in the mix. Tied for 3rd currently.
They have to get through hole 16. That is one of the harder holes on the courses, but 17 is gettable. 18, I feel like very polarizing. It's a birdie or bogey sort of hole, I feel like. So something maybe net even down the stretch, 16, 17, 18, you'd be pretty happy with.
I think you'd be fine with that.
Get the work done early like Silva, walk into them 7 under, and see if you can just get clean out there.
We are outside.
We are together.
Oh my!
We are healthy.
We are inclusive.
Smile.
Smile. You are
Take this goal.
PDGA Europe.
Welcome back to the Turku Open and to one of the most beautiful holes that I've seen her played. 16, par 4, 541 feet or 165 meters for the FPO. You know, pretty low ceiling shot, tight gap, Mando on the right, casual relief zone initially, and then you got to just kind of work to get through the woods, and then it opens up into this beautiful meadow with the granite rock on the left, and there you see the basket right there. Kind of like everything, you know, this is all the best that Finland has to offer. You got forest, you know, you got the granite rock, the beautiful meadow here. Just, you know, very aesthetic view, very nice nature, and very well designed. Tricky tee shot for sure. Low ceiling, tight gap.
The second most difficult hole of the day after hole 1, 4.71 average. It was also the hardest birdie to find on the day.
Yeah, I believe that. It's a little bit downhill off the tee, and then it goes a little bit uphill towards the basket, but it's not too much, you know, grade. It's pretty gentle. This is normally hole 1. If you come to play this course, it's a private track, but a very affordable fee, and this is where you'll start your round out. I would recommend it. It's great.
Let's see if Iida can hit the tunnel cleanly. We see a lot of early connections. This looks great if it has some late flip. It doesn't quite turn over, but does continue to push forwards. She's bled out to the left, though, and probably will force her to just pitch out with a little placement shot. Silva, in comparison, is short enough that she wants to pump the distance, and she's gotten herself. Anywhere near that tee pad will often be the sort of place that gives you a look into the green, and that's why exactly layups like that are so common when they're off the fairway.
Yeah, there's quite a few trees, mostly aspen, a few pines. Really want to try to stay in the middle if you can. If you get off, it can be tricky. Silva does pretty well being slightly out of position, but puts a good turnover on it, and she gets way up the fairway.
That will afford her a putt. We go to Keiti. Can just see the flag peeking out over the hill. A close to blind shot. This has a really nice flight under. Look how tall that flag is. They've done that on purpose. They give you a little peek where it is. That's the sort of attention to detail we get here in Turku. We go now to Lehtomäki. From the left, she's just going to get herself out near that tee pad as well.
A little kind of lunge putt out. Oh, she hates it. She's pushed a little too far. She's going to leave herself in a tricky spot. Nesse puts a great move on this one, and it skips right up to the basket. Beautiful. Tap-in birdie coming up there. That's what you want to do on this one. And there you see, she pushed it a little too straight. She has to do a very abbreviated swing to protect her arm from smashing on the tree there. But she's done pretty well to progress up the fairway. It's kind of a veteran move, you know, to be able to like restrict your swing that way and, you know, prevent the injury.
She opts for a longer look, knowing that she is playing a 3-round event here. She go to Silva from way out. Again, she fires. I believe that was for her par.
Buzzing the tower. Yeah, another bogey. She's going to slip one back. She's struggling a little bit here in the end to keep that pace she had on earlier, but Still out
It's
in
a
front.
tough stretch, Andrew, as
Yeah,
well.
it's true. It's
Hole
true.
16, as I mentioned, the hardest birdie
Yep.
in the game. As we go up to these putts, I'll give a quick shout out here. I believe at this point it's not a spoiler. The only birdie of the day in the FPO field, Jenny Karppinen. Well done.
Nicely done. Yeah, such a good get. Unfortunate bogey there after the kind of unforced error on the pitch out.
An interesting note there is that this green, as you can see in the upper right of your frame, is directly adjacent to the practice area. There's a lot of noise of chains, a lot of chatter, a lot of movement.
I wonder if that
And
affected
it's also this sort of intermediate walking area between the car park and the clubhouse. There's just a lot of action here, a lot of eyes on you. Feels like this is one of the tougher greens to arrive at and putt well. It's a little bit exposed to the wind, but you can see no more than a single bogey taken by our feature card here on the second hardest hole of the course.
I don't have to apologize. I must have missed a shot from Iida there. I thought that was her second, but that was her third. So she taps in the par, not the birdie. And shout out to Jenny for that birdie, yeah.
Maybe she'll tap in the birdie here on 17. This par 3 is 92 meters. Again, it's looking like a left to right shot. A straight shot will often give you a sort of circle's edge look. If you have it and you're comfortable, the forehand hyzer plays nicely to combat that significant right to left slope. The backhand is very possible, but I feel like it cut rolls a lot with an imperfect turnover. You need a turnover that flattens out, whereas if you have a turnover landing and hyzer into that slope, it so commonly rolls. It requires a very nice precision and particularly a flatter landing. Nesse here.
Oh, that's
beautiful
so
shaping
pretty.
shot. Lands exactly flat into the bullseye. That's how you throw this hole, apparently, Andrew.
That's exactly what you want to do on this one. That was really nice shape. Perfect angle, speed, disc choice, all the above. Textbook. Keiti shooting it a little long. Hyzer's out. She'll have an uphill putt from pretty far out. Maybe not quite a putt. She might. It's kind of in that tester range there. Shot to decide on the throw or the jump putt. Silva going right at it, low line, skipping and sliding up there inside the circle. Very well done. Iida. Lehtomäki pushing it a little long. Catches some trees, and that'll help her save her some distance away from the pin anyway. That was looking like it was going a little bit further straight and probably obstructing her further, but getting a bit of tree love here in her homeland.
Keiti up the hill around the corner. Ultimately just lays it up. We go to Silva. Not going to lay this one up.
No. Oh.
A nasty spit out, though. She was looking to bounce back to 7 under with that birdie putt. Will stay at 6.
Looked pretty good. Strong side. Maybe a little wide right. Nice birdie there from Iida. Finding a way. And she's, yeah, moving along here very nicely. Bouncing back like a champ. Getting that birdie and a tap in for Nesse. That was fantastic. Back to even for the round. Had some incredible highlights. A few unforced errors, but look at that back 9.
Very clean from Nesse. Just putting herself back to even now. She's done a lot of work to get there. You know what they say, Andrew? To quote a good friend of mine, Iida Pita.
Thank you. Well timed. Moving on, hole 18, par 3, 95 meters to this hay-baled island. The FPO tee pad is right down there in your right corner of your screen. Yeah, 95 meters, 312 feet. Just aim for the basket. You probably want to land it like a little bit shy of the basket, because sometimes if you go for the ace run, you'll blow past it. You'll skip, out of the hay bales, and then you'll have to go to that drop zone that you see right down here, just above the text. It's about a 15-meter putt. So you still have a chance to save the par if you missed the island. It's about exactly the ring of the 10-meter circle this year. They've tightened it in a little bit. It was a little bigger last year. So
It certainly feels challenging but fair. They also have a light tailwind right to the left, meaning their discs will drop out and be pushed leftwards. They'll be a bit more overstable, and Nesse lands inbounds,
Dang.
skips over the bales out of bounds, and will proceed to the drop zone. That was not a perfect shot, but one that looked likely good enough. We go to Lehtomäki.
oh, she doesn't like it, but it stays in.
And that is enough. You'll also get your meter off the OB line. That hay bale marks is actually the OB line, so it is, the line is as wide as the hay. So you do get your meter from the inside, and oh, Keiti Tätte off the koozie. That's a great way to slow your disc down. Just hit the pin. Why not?
Brilliant. Sweet highlight there. Silva's looks a little low. Can it skip up over the bales? Nope. It was a little wide right as well.
And her hopes of ending at 7 under snuffed out there with that out of bounds. She will have a chance to end at 6 with a putt from the drop zone, but Nesse up first towards the gallery. And
Oh.
a great looking bid, but ultimately dropped by the tailwind. Silva has a read now. This would be huge.
Yeah, this will tie her for the lead. What a putt. Not the finish she was hoping for there after a really hot start, but a great putt to end it and to tie her for the lead.
Lehtomäki takes advantage of hitting the island. She secures another birdie, putting her round to 4 under. Very respectable and certainly in the mix. You can see that does leave her tied 3rd, Andrew,
Yeah.
with quite a few players.
Yeah, that putt was to secure her lead card spot for the moving day 2nd round here. We'll be ecstatic to have her back on lead card coverage here on MDG Media. Incredible young talent, getting it done there with a clutch putt. Keiti, solid birdie to finish, hitting the koozie there and tapping in her birdie to go under par for the round.
Good feeling.
Yep, tied for 7th.
And as we close out our round 1, let's hear some words from us about the leaderboard. You see Silva Saarinen ending at 6 under despite a few bogeys on the back 9. Lehtomäki at 4 under, Tätte 1 under, Nesse 1 over. And as mentioned, 13 of the 18 holes under, averaging over par for the field. Anything around par was a great and competitive round for the FPO field today. Fun conditions.
Tough conditions, really. The weather was tough, but it's it's going to clear off in the afternoon for the MPO, so there'll be better scoring conditions for them for sure. Make sure you tune into MDG for that. Incredible card we have for them. And make sure you come on back for the 2nd round as well, and do all the things you have to do to help support us here so we can continue to bring you this high-quality coverage.
All the names on the screen. We love you extra. You're supporting the channel and helping make it happen for European Disc Golf. Make sure to join us for round 2. Andrew and I will see you there.